So I thought for our return to in-person worship with the Holy Communion that we might look at the story of Ruth. It's a beautiful story, quite a quirky story really, and it's the story really initially of Naomi, which is Ruth's mother-in-law. And if you're familiar with the story, and I encourage you to read it because it's only a few chapters long and you can read it in one sitting in less than half an hour, even if you're a slow reader. And there's not too many tricky words, the names are the hardest part. But read the story and you'll discover that Naomi, the mother-in-law of Ruth, and her husband Elimelech, and there's a famine going on, and so being as resourceful as they are, they decide that they're going to go and visit in Moab to see if they can get food there, which presumably they do because they survive, except poor old Elimelech doesn't survive. He's not very well and he dies. And they have two sons, and the sons are of marrying age, and they find wives in Moab and they get married, and then the two sons die. So we have Naomi, who's lost her husband and then lost both her sons, and all the men in her life are gone. Now I know some women these days would rejoice at the moment where all the men in their life were gone, but in those days, of course, that meant all the security in her life was also gone, because to be a woman in those days, in that setting, without a man, was to be a non-person. So Naomi thought to herself, I may as well go back to Israel. I think they've got food there now. She'd heard stories that things were coming good back in the homeland. And so she says to her two daughters-in-law, who were very faithful to her, she must have been a remarkable woman in herself, because they showed incredible faithfulness to her. And she basically said to them, I release you of your obligation to me as your mother-in-law. Stay here. I'm going back to my homeland. I'm not going to have any more kids. I owe you nothing. You owe me nothing, and I can't give you anything. So you stay here, find husbands for yourselves, make a life. You've been good people. Thanks very much. God bless. Ciao. Which is, again, for someone in Naomi's situation, a remarkably selfless thing to do, because she's giving up all her security, all the means of support, visible or otherwise, seem to have gone, and as an older single widower going back on a dangerous journey to her homeland, to uncertainty, quite a remarkable person, you'd have to say. So that's a bit of the story we're going to look at this Sunday. It's a story of hardship. We've all endured a little bit of hardship, not as hard as that probably, but we can understand the notion of hardship. And it's also a story of incredible loyalty and faithfulness. And again, I think that's an entirely appropriate thing for people at Mustard Seed to be considering, because I think we've got a good story of loyalty and faithfulness to tell as well. So as we gather around the Holy Communion table, as we get our bread rolls from Pioik, we are going to look at the story of Ruth, first chapter, and the first 18 verses of chapter 1 of Ruth. I invite you to have a read of those and read the whole story if you like, get familiar with it, and you'll meet some remarkable characters in there. There's a number of them that are worth meeting. If you're not able to make it in person this coming Sunday to Mustard Seed, but you would like to share in our Holy Communion with the Pioik bread roll, sharing the one bread, because we are all the one body, let me know and I'll see if I can get a bread roll to you by some kind of magic. If you can let me know sooner, my magic might be more possible. And we will celebrate communion together. We'll probably be using port, although I have a little bit of juice available for those who are averse to the idea of alcohol. And I believe alcohol is a bit safer, that's all. Kills the germs. And it's a very nice breakfast port is a thing apparently. So come along, join us at the church for Holy Communion. If you can't, let me know, and I'll see if I can get you a peeled bread roll so that you can join with us on the Zoom, but still be part of the one bread, for we are the one body of Christ. And have a look at Ruth. It's a good read, amazing story. It's a love story, really. It's got some saucy bits in it too. They're well hidden in archaic language, but if you look carefully, whoo, that's smoking stuff. I better stop there, I'll get myself in trouble. God bless, see you soon.